So Wrath of the Lich King Classic comes out in 3 days. That means it is time to get our add-ons and to get ready to go into the new/old expansion. And if we're gonna do that, we're gonna need add-ons. So today I'm gonna share with you guys my top 20 add-ons for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. First things first, you're gonna need a add-on manager. You can install your add-ons directly into your WoW folder. This is the old school way of doing it, but it totally works. I do suggest you watch a YouTube video if you don't already know how to do that. But if you don't want to deal with manual moving folders and zips, then just get yourself an add-on manager. It's what I've used for years, and it is just, in my opinion, the way to go. Basically, there's only one you're able to use now, and that's CurseForge. There was other competition, but due to politics and exclusivity contracts, publishers weren't able to upload their add-ons here on CurseForge and on other places at the same time, and those other places couldn't access and share CurseForge add-ons anymore. So all the options and all the choices were destroyed, death to the free market basically, and CurseForge took over the world, and here we are. So in CurseForge, once you get in here, what you do is you'll scan for your games, it'll find all your games, you click on Wrath of the Lich King Classic, you go to get more add-ons, and you can view them all by popularity or by category, and basically you just find an add-on you like, you can click on it to look into it and read what it does and see screenshots and all that good stuff. If you decide that you want it, then you just go ahead and click install. Once you click install, it'll be in your add-ons list. Once it's here, you update it as necessary, check on it every now and again, but you are done and your add-on is installed. Now you just got to go enable it inside the game. And so this is a super simple way to just get and manage your add-ons. So now let's jump into the actual add-ons themselves. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about those must-have add-ons that if you've been playing Classic for any amount of time, you have probably heard of, and if you haven't, then you're about to be thanking me, because these add-ons are insanely powerful and insanely useful, and I've been using them for years. And first of all is Leatrix Plus. Leatrix Plus is a really cool add-on that adds a ton of control and customization to the game. It gives you a bunch of options, everything from automating quest pickups all the way to selling the scrap out of your bags and giving you all kinds of customization options with your UI. It even lets you set a maximum camera distance far past the limit of the game, and it even lets you set a dynamic spell and weather density value as well. This is a really powerful and really common add-on that I recommend to everyone. This is one of my favorites, and it just does so much. Not to mention, it activates the next add-on on this list, which is Leatrix Maps. Leatrix Maps is my absolute favorite map add-on. What it basically does is it allows you to minimize and change the size of your map, and it also lets you move the frame around the window, which is just a massive quality of life. I absolutely love this add-on, and I can't recommend it enough. Second of all, we gotta talk about Atlas Loot Classic. Atlas Loot Classic is one of those add-ons that I've personally been using since back in original Burning Crusade. It is an absolute lifesaver, and what it does is it lists all of the loot in the entire game. Literally all of it, and it tells you where it comes from. It has a loot table for every single boss and every single raid and every single dungeon. It also has a loot table for all the trash and every single raid and every single dungeon. It has all the professions and every single item that comes from them. It has every single piece of collection like mounts and pets and tabards. It's got every reputation and faction. It has every piece of loot in the game. I love this add-on so much. It's basically the dungeon journal from retail WoW, but on steroids. Atlas is another must-have classic add-on because it shows you the maps for all the dungeons in the game. I'm not sure if in Wrath of the Lich King, if that's when maps for dungeons came out, but so far in the pre-patch, we do not have any maps for any dungeons, and so this is extremely useful for any time you're running those Burning Crusade and those classic era dungeons. Another must-have add-on is Auctionator, and what Auctionator does is it completely revamps your auction experience. It does still leave the original auction house there for you to use, but it adds extra tabs, which has a really nifty shopping and selling tab where you can make sure that you get the best prices. You can make sure that when you sell, it does automatic undercutting by predetermined values. It makes sure that you are getting the most out of your auction house experience and the most bang for your buck. This thing is considered the absolute must-have amongst people that use the auction house regularly, and I suggest that everyone go and pick this up. It will save and make you so much money it is insanely good and an absolute must-have. Another absolute must-have is Deadly Boss Mods. I'm sure most of you have at least heard of it. Deadly Boss Mods is insanely powerful. It helps you get through your dungeons and raids and gives you heads up and all kinds of great information for those runs, but it also enables the next mod on this list, and that is Deadly Boss Mods PvP mods. And what this does, it adds capping battleground timers and different trackers for bosses HP and other things that will help you navigate battlegrounds in a more scientific way. It gives you a whole lot more information than you can get out of the default UI. In Outric Valley, you're able to see and share with others the amount of time left before towers are capped, for example, and you're able to monitor the health of both factions' bosses from anywhere on the map, which is also really useful. It's a really powerful mod, and if you are PvPing, an absolute no-brainer must-have add-on. The next must-have add-on is Details Damage Meter. Details is the de facto damage meter. This thing works basically like Recount or like Xodas from the older days, but it is considered to be the most accurate, most powerful of the ones today, and it's the one that I've used for years. I love Details, and I highly recommend you use it too. It's got a ton of awesome customization, and it just works like a dream. All right, next up, you got to get SexyMap. SexyMap is an add-on that I've been using once again since the original Burning Crusade, and I have never gone without having it installed on my game since. What it does is it completely revamps your mini-map. It gives you complete customization. You can change the size, you can change the shape, you can add art like spinning runes and all kinds of crazy art elements and all this other stuff to it. You can make it just a simple square, which is what I like to do, and I make it big. You can move it around your screen a little bit. You can completely change your minimap icons. You can make them only appear on hover, which gives you a much cleaner experience. It is just a really awesome add-on, and I recommend using the presets, or if you just want to go completely crazy, then go on and completely make your own unique minimap. Power's in your hands with this one. The next must-have add-on is Weak Auras. Weak Auras is a massively popular add-on and very powerful add-on. It can track just about anything in the game, and that's really what this does. It gives you a way to create visual and auditory cues and pop-up heads-up display type things on your interface that let you know when you're getting procs or let you know when different buffs are happening. You can create heads-up displays for any event in the game just about on you or on any other mob or NPC or player within your vicinity. It is insanely powerful. In short, what I use this for is to let myself know when I have different buffs, like Killing Machine for Frost DK or Rhyme for Frost DK, Fallen Crusader for Death Knight in general. It lets me know when I have Unholy Frenzy on my ghoul. It tracks these abilities and buffs that are kind of a pain in the butt to track otherwise, your proc abilities and whatnot. This is super powerful and makes life way easier. Highly recommend Weak Auras. And if you're looking for Death Knight Weak Auras, then check out my Discord, link in the description down below. I have all of my Weak Auras that I use listed in there, all for free to anybody that joins. And by the way, let me know, what add-ons do you use and what are your favorite add-ons? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next up for must-have add-ons is Questie. Questie is a quest tracker add-on, and it is super useful, super powerful, and an absolute must-have, no-brainer. I'm not sure if in Wrath Classic they'll be adding in the quest tracker when it actually launches. They did add it in original Wrath, so I would suspect that it should be. However, I haven't seen it on the pre-patch, and I would suspect it to be there if it was. So go ahead and grab this. You may not end up needing it, but if you do need it, you'll be glad to have it, and you won't have to worry about picking it up on launch day and interrupting your experience just to go get Questie. Plater Nameplates adds bigger, more customizable nameplate bars above your units, above your enemies, above your players. I love this because you're able to use class colors, and it shows your dots and debuffs that you apply to the target over their head with timers. This is really nice, and I really like. I won't play without an add-on of this type, and Plater Nameplates does a really good job of it with a ton of customization as well. All right, that brings us to Pawn. Pawn is a really interesting and powerful add-on. What it does is it uses Ask Mr. Robot, which is a simulation website that PvEers use to basically min-max their stats and get the perfect gear. This is a simulator robot that uses stat weights in order to run algorithms in order to understand what gear would be best. And so what this Pawn add-on does is it compares a piece of gear that you're mousing over to the gear you're currently wearing. And it tells you, based on what spec you're in, how much of an upgrade this item will be. So for myself as a Death Knight, if I mouse over a new pair of pants in my bag, it may show 86% upgrade for Unholy, 36% upgrade for Frost, and 27% upgrade for Blood. And what it's doing is it's running the math in the background, and it's saying based off of stat weights and how we understand these stat weights to perform for the spec, we can simulate this level of DPS increase, and then it spits that out in a percentage form. This is a really cool tool because it can give you a great way to measure pieces of gear side by side and compare them in a really dynamic way. However, it doesn't always take everything into consideration, especially when we're looking at PvP and we have PvP stats. It doesn't exactly take human components into consideration either. And so I don't trust this 1000% blindly. However, I do like to use it as a general measuring stick to get an idea. It's just more information. Use it as a tool. If you are not interested in doing as much theory crafting on your own, it's not bad to just kind of follow it for you new players out there. But ideally, I think that it's best whenever you try to use it to inform your own decision-making process. Next up, we have LOCA, which is Loss of Control Alerter for TBC Classic. This is a bit of a PvP oriented add-on, and we're actually going to talk about a couple of PvP oriented add-ons here. LOCA is basically, it takes from retail that whole heads-up display in the middle of your screen whenever you get CC'd. It takes that and it puts it into this. So this just gives you that instant heads-up, you're feared, and it lasts 6 seconds, for example. And it just puts it right there in your face. This is great for streamlining your experience in PvP and making sure that you're getting the information you need to know as soon as possible without even needing to move your eyes to the top right hand corner of your screen or something to see the debuff. It's all right there in the middle of your screen. Very important. And along those lines, we also have the add-on Big Debuffs and Buff Overlay. And what these add-ons do is that they show buffs and debuffs respectively on your raid frames for your party. So if you're in an arena and your healer gets polymorphed, then you'll see the polymorph on their raid frame and you'll see a timer for it. And what makes it special is that these add-ons give you a bunch of customization around your debuffs and your buff overlay on your raid profiles. You can make them larger, you can make them smaller, you can show timers, you can hide timers, you can move them around the frame, you can move them slightly outside the frame. It gives you a bunch of control and a bunch of information just at a glimpse. And I really like this for paying attention to what is going on with my team. Are they popping cooldowns? How long is left on those cooldowns? Are they in CC? Are they drinking? Tons of great information comes from these add-ons, and I can't recommend them enough to anyone who PvPs or even PvEs seriously. If you're a healer or a tank, then it's really powerful to be able to tell what your team is up to, and that is what I love about these add-ons. All right, now let's talk about some quality of life add-ons, and specifically we're going to be looking at Better Vendor Price, which is an add-on that I think Leatrix Plus might do this already. I'm not 100% sure, but what this add-on does is it basically will track the vendor price of every single item in your game, and it will basically always have that information available. So whenever you mouse over any item in your bag that is sellable to a vendor, it will tell you how much that item will vendor for. And that is really powerful because if you're running a dungeon and you're doing it to farm gold and your bag gets full, you're going to have to make hard choices. Do I drop this or take this? And it's a good idea to be able to see what everything is valued at. That way you don't get rid of things that are valued highly and you only get rid of things that are only valued, at really low. So it gives you a better way to inform your decisions. Next up is Scrap, and Scrap, it actually is just done by Leatrix Plus if you enable the feature, so you don't even need this add-on, but I've used them for years and I never bothered turning it off, so I'll just recommend it to you as well. And what this does, it sells all of your junk, and it is really good. It just, the moment you talk to a vendor, it automatically sells all your junk, no questions asked. This is great for you high-level characters up there. And next up is Gatherlite. What Gatherlite does is it tracks all the potential node spawns for herbs and minerals across every single map in the game, and then it puts that overlay on your map in game so that you can see where everything spawns. This is great for figuring out what route you want to take when you're going herbing or mining, and it's also great for being able to just see where things spawn at, what kind of minerals spawn in which location, without necessarily having to go and Google search it. Now it's time for my absolute most favorite add-on, and that is Peggle Classic. Peggle Classic is an add-on that adds an entirely separate game, not just any game, but Peggle into your World of Warcraft. What's funny is that this Peggle game is completely WoW themed. It has a talent build system. Yeah, you can actually get talents and level up in this and create your own play style. And you can also play with friends supposedly, although I've never used the feature because none of my friends would ever, you know, have what it takes to download it and play it with me. But it exists, and it's something that's fun. I love using this when I'm on those long flight paths or whenever I'm just auto-running across or just waiting for a battleground to open up. It's there for you to cure a little bit of boredom, and I love that. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got lots of great information. Please hit that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already, because it helps tremendously the algorithm. And if you want to see more videos like this, you know you got to hit that subscribe button. All right, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what add-ons you like and what add-ons are your favorite. All right, I want to know, and I want to see if there's any add-ons that I should go grab. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.